Right.
Hi, it's Phil Ratcliffe coming to you live from the Rebel Financial Studio. Today we are very happy to have Scott McHenry here to join us from McHenry Advisors to tell us a little bit about a side of the retirement industry that we don't hear a lot about, which are pensions. And a lot of our clients have that through state teachers' retirement system or public employees' retirement system. But what about the private plans? So maybe before we get started on anything, maybe you could just share simply, what do actuaries do?
Sure. There's actuaries do different things. There are actuaries that work for insurance companies that are responsible for taking the reserves of the insurance company and providing that disclosure annually to the state of Ohio that says, hey, this insurance company has enough in reserves to pay future claims.
Okay.
There's also actuaries that may be involved on the pricing side of things. So if you're buying a auto insurance policy, or you're buying an annuity, or you're buying life insurance policy, what is the price of that? And so the actuaries are heavily involved in determining that.
Sure. So they got to make sure that there's an actual reason for the
Right.
pricing, not just
Sure.
profitability or.
Sure. And then there's pension actuaries like myself that work with private or public pension plans. On the private side, we have to disclose each year to Internal Revenue Service and Department of Labor and Pension Benefit Guaranty Corporation that the plan has met minimum funding requirements.
Sure.
And what are the total value of the benefits now.
And they didn't have to do that back, what was it, before the 70s or what?
Yeah,
They
before
changed that?
1974, there were no official pension enrolled actuaries,
Yeah.
and so there was a law in 1974 called ERISA, really created because some companies had pension plans that basically went bankrupt.
Well, it would make sense because they would use the money to pay for other things.
Right.
Just maybe like our government does for Social Security. Maybe they should have to report.
Sure, right. Yeah. So, yeah.
Well, cool. So, as you were talking about, like actuaries like yourself that do pension plans or what, so what do actuaries do in your area specifically?
Sure. I focus kind of on more private entities, and a lot of what we do are adding new cash balance plans, which are a type of pension, that allow much larger contributions, tax-deductible contributions to be made for certain key individuals or small business owners. And then the other employees receive additional benefits as well, but a lot of times it's driven based upon the increase in the
because
tax
it costs
deduction.
money. So
Right.
it doesn't make sense for the person that it costs money. It probably wouldn't happen.
Right. Yeah.
Okay. So, how is it different for you? Because how I met you is that you run your own business locally, and we're a small business that's locally, and so when we were looking to build retirement plans or what, so we always like to do business with smaller businesses because first of all, a lot of times you're more flexible, and then second of all, we're just supporting people that actually own their businesses. So,
Yeah.
what makes you different? How did you get into being your own business?
Yeah, well, I guess it's kind of an accident, right? Like most things, there was planning where I had taken actuary exams. There were a series of law changes starting in the mid-90s up through 2001, which really increased the population of who a cash balance plan makes sense for. Those law changes allowed people to continue to have 401k plans and maximize those and add a cash balance plan on top. So you didn't have to choose 401k or cash balance. And the law changes also increased what the maximum contributions are. So starting about 2001, it was just there was a huge opportunity to.
There's been a lot of shift too in employers not wanting to take as much liability as well. So like cash balance versus just promising somebody to pay them for the rest of their life.
Right.
Probably makes more sense for them as well too, right?
Yeah, the cash balance plan is a defined benefit plan, so there's nothing as far as contributions you can do in one you can't do in the other.
Yeah.
The difference is it's just easier to understand, and it's a little bit more flexible, and it's age neutral for employees. So it's we can plan for it. We know what the costs are generally going to be, unlike a defined benefit plan. Traditional defined benefit plan where the value of the benefits fluctuates greatly based upon interest rates. Low interest rates equals a high lump sum. High interest rates equals a low lump sum. But with cash balance, we can get out of that fluctuation.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. So What examples of businesses would you say would benefit from like adding a pension plan or having one? Because when you look around, most people, they're like, yes, I have a 401k, or if they work for a nonprofit, they have a full 3B.
Right.
And I even think the people that are in charge a lot of times don't even know what the difference are,
Right.
unless they're like way old,
Right.
to where they had a pension plan from way in the past that they're maintaining. So
Sure.
like, when do we add a new one?
Yeah, there's different types of businesses that make sense for. I think any business where there's individuals that are bumping up against contribution limits in a 401k plan. Both 401k and company contributions, you could have up to 53,000.
Yes.
But if you have individuals that have the income and where it makes sense to have additional contributions, they certainly should look at a cash balance plan. There are, about 60% of the plans we work in are in the medical field, dental groups or physician groups that aren't employed by a hospital. Other professional firms, small, closely held businesses. If there's not too many employees and there's owners actively working in the business, then that's a great opportunity.
Do you see many nonprofits implementing
Sure.
new pension plans or what? So we've personally come across a couple nonprofits that are like, how can we do the most for our employees because we're doing really well?
Right.
Obviously, we can't keep the extra money, so we got to find a way.
Right. Yeah. Definitely.
Do
There's
things.
a percentage of our client base that is nonprofits, and I'm seeing an uptick in that. So I think it does make sense. If for key individuals that the benefit levels they want are more than could be available in a 401k.
So you got really two main groups. There's like for-profit people that are really running up against high taxes and need the extra tax deductibility, and maybe nonprofits or even other for-profit organizations that are just really about helping the employees provide that extra level of benefit on
definitely.
top of there.
Yeah.
Okay. So when we think about that, I think about, are there anything that you would say, like if you were talking to like an HR person that was in charge of the retirement plan, or a business owner would say, like maybe like some key giveaways that's just like you could probably benefit from a pension plan.
Sure. If certainly anyone that wants to reduce their taxes if they're a business owner, we can look. There's no cost to taking a look to see if it makes sense. If it doesn't, no problem. If it does, then we'll have a further conversation. So, I think anybody that's wants to increase savings for retirement, wants to reduce taxes, is a small business owner, then it's worth looking at.
So whenever you feel like you're paying too many taxes and you don't have a pension plan, that is one of the biggest giveaways.
Right. Yeah, and then there's also individuals or small business owners that maybe don't have adequate retirement savings. They have
like
a lot of equity.
An extra catch-up.
Right. They have an equity built up in the business, but they don't have a whole lot other retirement savings that if they're getting close to a point of selling or retiring the last couple years, that's oftentimes a great time to add a cash balance plan because you can really catch up
because they might be at their highest income earning years anyways, so lower that, and then when they take it out of the pension little by little, hopefully it lowers their taxes later on.
Yeah, because it's not it's not only just the tax deduction up front, but it's tax deferred growth. If you're going to invest on an after tax basis, then you're facing capital gains taxes, taxes on the interest, taxes on the dividends.
Yeah.
Put it in a qualified plan and you don't face any of that.
Use the government's money to make money.
Yeah.
Okay. So, I think this is probably one of the common themes that we'll always have in these is I think we like stories.
Right.
So, maybe give us a story of a time where through plan design or just working with a plan that was really unique, that really helped a business or organization.
Right. Yeah, the ones that stick into my mind are, we work with a lot of high income individuals, and it's a great tax deal for them. But they're better off with the plan than without. But I'm not as concerned about retirement savings for them.
Sure.
But the ones that really stick in my mind are the individuals that have worked, hard, have a frugal lifestyle, but haven't saved for retirement, and that where they're making income close to retirement age, and that's their high earning years, and we're able to kind of take a lot of that and reduce their taxes and put that into tax qualified plan that really is going to mean a dramatic, increase in their standard of living and retirement than if they didn't do that plan.
Sure. So do you find a lot of people come to you directly, or is it like they're going through someone like us or a TPA or what so? Because, I mean, obviously it makes sense if somebody was informed, but how many people are informed?
Yeah, no, we do have people that contact us directly, but that's rare.
That's awesome.
Most of it is through the financial advisors that are looking out for the best interest of their clients, CPAs as well, some attorneys. I work with retirement plan administration firms around the country that don't have actuaries. Okay. So they're used to providing 401k services, but if they have a plan sponsor where a cash balance plan may make sense, then they contact me and we kind of get involved and help them with that, with setting the plan up.
Awesome. Well, we're going to close out. I mean, we run and help a lot of our clients set up pensions. There are lots of other advisors that do so as well. If you're interested in visiting our page, it's goodpensions.com. We work pretty much exclusively with Scott on our pensions. We obviously shop because we have to be a fiduciary to our clients, but Scott has been great, like when we look at the work that he's done for us at the price that he's done. So just spectacular. If you want to go ahead and if anybody wants to reach out to Scott directly, tell them how they can find you.
Sure, I have a website, McHenry-Advisors.com. You can call my office, 1-800-805-9538.
Great. Well, thanks so much for being on, Scott.
Yeah.
And if you guys have questions, we'll put a link below to both Scott and our website. Feel free to message on our website or on Facebook or on YouTube. Feel free to give us an email, give us a call. We're always more than happy to help. Next week, we're going to be at the ODA, the Ohio Dental Association. We're going to try to talk to a couple of dentists about running their businesses and the challenges and maybe some of the things you don't see when you go into your dentist's office to go, But anyways, after that, then we're going to have our attorney partner, Greg Aaronstein, on. So don't miss that. Every Friday at 11 a.m. Today we're a couple minutes behind. Apologize for that. But right there, we're going to be here bringing you great stories from good, unique people on how you can do better with your life, hopefully keep more of your money, pay less to Uncle Sam legally. So thanks for joining us again.
Thank you, Phil.